Hey guys, welcome back to Marty's Tech Adventures. My name is Brian. This is a series we are doing on Texas campgrounds and RV parks. If you've never been here before, make sure you hit the subscribe button if you are an RV camper and you want to know more about state parks and different things around Texas, because we're going to be sharing about the places we go. So let's get going. Today we are at El Campo's Lost Lagoon. Alright guys, welcome back. Like I said, my name is Brian. This is Marty's Tech Adventures. We recently bought a 2020 bunkhouse unit by Prowler. We had been camping for about 2 years using some family members' campers, and we decided to go ahead and get our own this summer. And so we realized that as we went around different places, looking at a few photos and reading the reviews online just wasn't really cutting it for us in terms of getting the reviews and information we were hoping to about the different places we wanted to go. So hopefully what we'll do in these videos is show you visually and be able to tell you about our experience in the parks. If you have a request or a question, make sure you leave it down in the comment section below. Or if you have a place you'd like us to review that think we might like, please mention it in the comments and we'll definitely try and check it out sometime soon. Okay, so like I said, we are at Lost Lagoon, which is in El Campo, Texas. The way I'm going to do this today is I'm going to go through the details of the campground, then I'm going to talk about the pros, and then I'm going to talk about the cons, and I'll give you my overall review of the park. So, number one, El Campo, Texas is about an hour and 15 minutes from Houston to the southwest. It is about 2.5 hours to the southeast of San Antonio, and it's about 4.5 hours south of Dallas. So not terrible as far as distance goes. It's actually a pretty good location. There's not a whole lot around El Campo. It's a smaller town, but there is a Walmart down the road if you need it. It's only like, I think, 2 miles maybe. So the site that we paid for, the site that we reserved, is a deluxe back-end site. We actually had site number 24, and it backs up to the fishing pond, which is just a fancy name for water retention reservoir, I believe. There are fish there. I'm not a fisherman. Other people were out there fishing. They seem to be having a good time. If you like fishing but don't want to bring your gear, I do believe they have some available for purchase in the convenience store at the camp store office. So the sites here at Lost Lagoon are all concrete pads. They are approximately 18 feet wide, and from their website, my understanding is they are all about 75 feet long. I think there might be a few that are a little larger if you have like a really large Class A and you need some additional space for a big rig, but that's about the normal size, 18 by 75. Everything is concrete, everything is full hookup. They have both 30 amp and 50 amp available. There are a few back-end sites. That's where we are. I would say probably 25 to 40 in the entire park. Everything else is pull through. We chose to be, well, we didn't choose, the place was packed this weekend, and so we just got a spot way in the back. The water park is way up there and we are way back here. It is a little bit of a walk. It takes about 10 minutes or so to walk from the back portion of the park all the way up to the front. So just be prepared if you do get a spot in the back, you're gonna have a little bit of a walk to make. Like I said, $65 a night, so we came for 2 nights. $133, I believe, is what we paid for our 2 nights when you add taxes and whatnot. So really, that's not bad. We've been other places that are pretty comparable, and I think the nice thing here is that you get access to the pool at no additional cost. You can pay for upgraded things like the obstacle course water thing. I think they call it the Wibbit. But you don't have to do that. You can get into the regular pool, no extra charge, right off the bat for that $65 a night. Okay, so that's the data about the park. Let me go real quickly into the pros. Obviously, you are coming to Lost Lagoon because you want to be at a resort-style park with a really cool pool. If you're coming here, it's probably because you've seen it online, you've heard somebody talk about it. I don't think most people come here not knowing what they're getting. It is definitely an RV resort in the sense that it's not a state park, it's not a natural area. You're coming for that swimming pool. And that makes total sense because it is a pretty freaking awesome pool. The story goes that this was a personal residence pool at one time. The large house on the property was a personal private home. It was sold in 2017, and the current owners bought it to develop into Lost Lagoon. It is a 700,000 gallon swimming pool. It has 3 rock slides. It has a rope swing out into the deep area. It also has a lazy river, a swim up bar, a hot tub for approximately 20 to 25 people, and it has a large space in the middle where they put in a blow up volleyball court. Which is awesome. It is really, a fantastic pool. We had a great time being in the pool while we were here on this trip. They do have an additional water feature called With It. I mentioned that earlier. It's a water obstacle course, very similar to like the American Ninja Warrior, but on water, kind of a toy thing. It's like $20 a day for a single day pass. If you do a 2-day pass, I think you can get it for $30. So it's a little bit pricey, but if you really want to do something special and fun, maybe check that out. I will say it looks really large when there's no one on it, but once there are about 20 people in there, it gets a little more claustrophobic. I'm glad we didn't pay for it for our daughter, because I don't think she would have enjoyed it nearly as much having that many other people, strangers that she doesn't know, out there with her. That's just our personal preference and kind of our personal MO, and so I don't think it would be worth it for us. For you guys, maybe it is. I don't know. Okay, so another pro about the facility is everything is super clean. The bathrooms, the shower, the laundry facility, everything that we went to use was very clean and was in very good condition. I really, really appreciate that. There's nothing worse than going into an RV park that has a really nasty, old, worn down bathroom. So the park facility also has a basketball court, sand volleyball court, a playground. It does have a dog park, which is, it's not huge, but it is a dog park here on site where you can let your dog off their leash. Otherwise, you need to keep your dog on the leash. I believe the policy is a 6-foot leash, and they cannot be left unattended outside your trailer. So you can't like hook them up to a longer lead. That's what we normally do when we camp with our dog. We couldn't do that this trip. So as far as other amenities, there is the fishing pond. There's a convenience store, so if you need something, they definitely have that. And then probably one of my favorite features is they had on-site dining. So when we went to the pool, we were able to just get lunch right there. It was good. It was a little expensive, but you're paying for convenience, but you're also getting a large portion. My wife and I could very easily have shared an entree instead of each getting our own. Okay, so talking about the cons of the park, and I really want to do this quickly and not get too in the weeds about it. There's not a lot of shade here. So if you're looking for a park that has trees and shade and nature areas and walking trails and things like that, this is not the park for you. I'm just going to be honest. There's a lot of concrete, and there's a few palm trees that they've planted at like every other site, but they're young. I mean, I think the owners took over this place in 2017, so the palm trees have not grown significantly in that time. Also, palm trees are not huge shade trees, especially when it's just a single tree. So if you're looking for shade, definitely bring a pop-up. Plan to have your awning. While we've been here this entire time, there's definitely been a pretty consistent breeze. We have not had our awning fully extended for more than maybe an hour or two, just because the breeze here is actually quite strong. Now, we were able to extend it some, just not all the way out. A pop-up with weighted legs definitely worked. We didn't have any problems with that. We set that up and really enjoyed having that over our dining table. Definitely something that I would encourage you to bring if you are going to come. So yeah, shade's an issue, or lack of shade, if you will. The sites, it's nice that they're concrete, but be sure that, as any travel trailer or RV owner knows, make sure you chalk your wheels before you unhook from your truck. The sites are not level. They do have a pitch to them so that the water runs off. I totally understand that, totally get why it's that way, but if you are not expecting it, that can be a very unfortunate situation if your trailer starts to roll. Not that we had that happen, but just saying it can happen because the pitch is quite noticeable. We brought blocks to put under our stabilizers simply because we noticed our friends that set up their trailer next to us are almost fully extended because the back end, as you do the back end sights over the water, you can have quite a bit of a height difference there, and your stabilizers are getting really narrow. It doesn't do a whole lot of good when they're that narrow. So the other cons that I would mention about this place are really, and I struggle to say this because I get it that we're in an RV resort, and resorts are not the cheapest things in the world. But I did feel like there were a lot of times where I was spending money that I didn't realize I was spending at the time. When we got here, we went ahead and paid for internet. They say on their website that there is free internet, and that is true. However, it is extremely slow for the free option. If you're looking to do any sort of, Netflix or Hulu or any of that, you're going to want to pay for the paid option. We paid $15 for a week, which I guess isn't terrible, and that's why I did it right when we got here. It was a little spotty, but overall it worked well for us. I will say that if we were here for an entire week and used 5 days worth of internet, pretty good deal. But we were only here for 3 days, and that just seemed like a better option for us to be able to have all of our devices and to be able to have that access. The other thing that added up that we didn't really anticipate, and I guess now I know, and I guess this is more of a heads up if you've never been here before, they use a wristband system, and they basically open a tab for you on your credit card that you paid for your site with. It's super convenient if you like that sort of thing, but it's also a really great way to lose track of how much you're spending, because when you're not having to pull out that card or pull out your cash and pay for something, you don't really always notice how expensive stuff is. You just sign and then it's gone. And so when we went to close out our check at the end of our trip, it had added up quite a bit. And yes, we know we had spent money on food and drinks, so we knew it was going to be a high bill. What I didn't realize until after I just signed, I added a tip, I signed, and I walked away. Shame on me, I didn't examine my bill very well. When I looked at it after the fact, they had included every single tip that I had given throughout the stay, and they just presented it to me on a bill along with all of my other items. And then they asked for another gratuity on top of that full amount. I understand now how that works a little bit better. But if you're coming for the first time, it's a little overwhelming to look at a receipt that's, 10, 12, 18 inches long, depending on how many items that you've ordered over the course of your stay. To try and break down, did I give a tip? Did I not give a tip? Where's the tip going? How much was the tip? It was a lot. And so I just looked at my overall total, and then I added a tip on top of that, a percentage-based tip. And now looking back, I realized I double tipped for almost everything that we had purchased, because my wife had ordered some things when I wasn't around and she had tipped, and then there were some things that I had ordered that I had tipped for that she wasn't aware of, and so there was definitely some double tippage. And I'm not saying that the service industry doesn't deserve tips. They do. However, it's not like we had a server who brought food to us at our seat. They took our order at a window, cooked our food in the kitchen, and handed it back to us through a window. So it's not like we had great service, above and beyond. They did a great job for what they were doing, don't get me wrong. I thought the staff here was very pleasant. They were always professional and helpful. I never had a negative interaction with any of them. I just think in terms of the wristband system, it's a little cumbersome and confusing if you're not sure what you're getting. So just be aware of that. You could very easily overspend not paying attention, which I get. That's what they want you to do. That's how they make their money. Their profit margin on that is what drives them to have all of those amenities, the restaurants and things like that. So anyways, overall, we enjoyed the park. We will probably come back. I will say, I'm not sure that I will come back on a weekend. We did a Wednesday to Friday trip, and Wednesday midweek was awesome. The number of people here and the number of people in the pool was perfect. As Thursday rolled in, I believe they had 70 trailers check in on Thursday. I don't even know how many more are coming today, but it's gotta be probably close to 70 to 100 because this place is sold out for the weekend. If we wanted to extend our stay, we can't because there is not a spot. That is crazy. There are a lot of people here. That's going to be a whole lot of people in that pool. And it's a big pool, don't get me wrong. That's a lot of people. So, I don't know. If I came, I would come back during the midweek. I know that in the mid-August, they will close the pool during the week. I think mostly because they have younger staff that does the lifeguard duties, and that's when they go back to school for the school year. So they lose some of their staff in terms of that. Also, I don't think there's as much demand for the pool during those times. COVID may change that. They may make an exception and extend their period. I don't know. But I do believe they close the pool during the midweek. So if you're looking to come midweek, that's definitely a summer thing. Honestly, if I was coming here in a colder month, I don't think I'd do it because really the big draw here is the pool, and if it's too cold to swim, then it doesn't make sense to spend the money to come here. I would probably go somewhere else that had a little bit more nature or other things to do. There's not a mini golf course or walking trails or anything like that to do here. So yeah, take it for what it's worth. This is our review and our opinion of Lost Lagoon. It's a cool place. I would definitely say if you like resorts and water parks and pools, you should check it out. They do have cabins available also if you don't have a travel trailer. They do not allow tents, but you can rent a cabin. Or if you need a larger space, the main homes are available. I think they're like $1,000 or $1,500 a night or something like that, which is a lot, but I think they sleep almost 20 people. So if you're doing like a large family getaway, that might be an option for you. Kind of a cool idea. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I hope it's helpful. Like I said before, if you have any questions, make sure you leave them down in the comment section below. We will try and get to those as quickly as we can. If you have a recommendation for somewhere we should try camping, definitely let us know and we will try and check it out sometime here in the near future. Thanks a lot. You guys have a great one. We appreciate all of the support.